Okay, so let's take another call. Jorge from Moreno Valley, it's your call. What's your question, Jorge?
Hey, I have a question. I'm trying to do a loan modification through my mortgage company, but they're telling me that their mortgage company is not offering any loan modifications at all. And they're strictly telling me, I can't do it with no one or even with an attorney. How is that?
Good question.
That's a great question because there is a case-by-case situation in the sense that it can vary for different lenders depending on who an investor is for a particular loan.
Correct.
So sometimes you can have a situation where due to investor requirements, those options aren't available. However, you still want to open the lines of communication with the lender and get that information. But
yes, and
I just wanted to add to that too. In some cases, you have homeowners who will pay a for-profit company a large fee, assuming that they're going to get a modification. In most cases, if they would have only contacted the lender, they could have only paid a small portion of the past due amount to set up some sort of arrangement with their lender to get themselves back on track. But even more so, they could have kept funds in their pocket to pay off other debt or to buy other necessities that they need for their home. As far as the lender and the investor goes, for example, you have City Mortgage, who out of 100% of the loans that they actually service, only 39% of those loans they actually own. So the other percentage of those loans could be owned by a private investor, it could be owned by a corporation, it could be owned by one individual or a group of individuals. However, if the mortgage company or the lender does not actually own that loan, the homeowner as well as the lender are at the mercy of whoever owns the loan as far as what the outcome of a loan modification or a repayment plan or a forbearance agreement would be.
So Ryan, to recap, and this is kind of critical because we've heard about these loan modification opportunities. We've heard, and Melinda, you stated, be sure to be in communication with the lender. But we've had many people call and say that their banks were dragging their feet in communicating back with them. And this caller, thank goodness, got information. The information wasn't positive, but at least he knows where he stands.
Right.
You're suggesting that 39% of the loans in Citibank's case that are owned by Citibank are modifiable at Citibank's discretion.
Correct.
But the other, in this case, 61%, they can't touch. They can't do anything without going through a third party that actually owns the paper. Is that?
Exactly.
So they can't speak on behalf of the subordinate investor and make that decision. It has to actually trickle down.
Correct.
To potentially somebody who's just a speculative stock investor in derivatives somewhere around the world.
Right, and in a lot of cases you'll have a homeowner who contacts the loss mitigation department or the collection department, and they will hear from the representative, you don't meet the investor guidelines, or due to investor guidelines we need this particular information. So that's advising the homeowner that someone else may actually own their loan.
So we're going to go out. Let's go out to Palm Springs first. Russell, it's your call. What's your question, Russell?
Yes, I'm wondering what I can do about the dilemma that we're in. Our original mortgage, which was an ARM with World Savings, was to have our rate increased once a year. A couple months after taking out that loan, Wachovia bought them out. They started raising our interest rates every month. I contacted them. They said, sorry, but that's the way it's going to be. But after 1 year, you can lock in a 30-year fixed mortgage. We locked in at 7.16. Our mortgage payment went from $2,400 a month to $3,700 a month.
Ouch.
I've contacted Wachovia regarding the mortgage modification program, and they were going to send out an inspector or an appraiser to appraise the house to see what could be done. They did not send out an appraiser. They sent out an inspector. The guy came into the house. He turned on water faucets. He flushed toilets. He turned on the showers. He turned on the water in the tubs. He turned on lights, turned off lights, to the outlets to make sure that there was electricity coming to the outlets, and left, and came in at a very, what I have heard from several friends of mine who are realtors, that he lowballed the appraisal. I called Wachovia back again. Well, actually it was Wachovia again. Called him back, talked to a very nice, knowledgeable person there who said that they have received numerous complaints about Wachovia and them sending out inspectors rather than appraisers.
And is that what's affecting your ability to get the loan modification, is the low appraisal?
That's correct.
Okay, so let's address that. Is it true that for these loan modifications, the homes have to be at a particular value relative to the amount that your loan is?
Brian, maybe they're thinking of the net present value. Do you think that's a calculation?
Right. And that would apply more to the home affordable plan. Basically, the plan that President Obama rolled out. The loan would have to be backed by either Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac in order to qualify for that particular refinance. If it's not backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, and if they want to find out if their loan is backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, they can go to fanniemae.com or they can go to freddiemac.com. There is a link, I believe, in the bottom right corner of those websites where they can actually click, type in their property address, and see if their loan is actually backed by that entity. But as far as the caller situation, I too want to congratulate him or give him a praise for being patient in the whole process. But if he wants to go one step further, the only suggestion that I have is that he can call, ask to speak with the loss mitigation department, and see, once they transfer him to that department, see if they can put him in contact with a supervisor. And then once they've done that, see if that supervisor can email the processor that was assigned to his loan to see if they can do the refinance on the house, and advise them, look, the house was lowballed. However, you know, based on comps and several other appraisers, the house is valued a little bit more. So is it possible we can have that appraiser go back out and take another look at the property to see if he missed something?
Let's go out to, how about Ernest in Huntington Park? Ernest, it's your call. What's your question?
To cancel that one, I just realized what it is. It's bankers, in other words, high rollers area. So that's forget about it. Thank you very much.
Ernest, do you have a question for us? You said that you figured it out. Okay, we're going to take another caller. How about Oscar from Fontana? Oscar, you're on the air. What's your question?
Yes, I was in Ryan's seminar class last night in Ontario, my wife and I, and he answered a lot of questions and a lot of things I didn't understand, and I understand them real fully now that he put it out there, and it was just perfect. I haven't had a chance to go back to him yet, but we're going to get all our paperwork and everything together, and we're going to go back there. So he did a really terrific job.
Thank you.